Welcome to America's Premier Experts. I'm your host, Mark Grimm. America's Premier Experts brings together the best and brightest minds to talk about solutions and to talk about growing your business. Our guest today is Bryan Campo. Your background brought you to real estate. Explain that a little bit.
Yes, well, I have a master's degree in chemical engineering from Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
You don't hear that very often in real estate.
Right.
Interesting.
And I also have a professional certification in solid state physics and quantum chemistry from MIT.
Great.
I moved to Phoenix, Arizona in 1998, based primarily off of an article that I read out of Inc. magazine that suggested that Phoenix was the #1 city in the country for entrepreneurial startups. I always knew I wanted to start my own real estate related business, and I've always had a passion for real estate and stock market investing. And one thing I found really unique when I read hundreds of books in stock market and real estate investing was that while there was a lot of information on data-driven approaches to investing in the stock market, there was very little, if any, information out there on how to take a scientific data-driven approach to profitably invest in real estate. And I became so passionate about wanting to invest and using a data-driven approach in real estate and became so profitable doing so during my engineering career that I was able to retire in 2005 and become a full-time real estate investor. Then when the mortgage meltdown and associated credit crisis happened, many of my personal clients came to me having lost 20 to 60% of their net worths, looking for a conservative, predictable way to invest their money. And that's where Ultimate Passive Income came from. Ultimate Passive Income is a real estate solution for people. We offer completely remodeled, professionally managed, single-family homes for $46,000 to $60,000 in emerging markets.
So, because a lot of people are wondering, is this the time to be investing in real estate? They're a little nervous, but what you're really saying is, yes, absolutely, if you apply the science, if you apply the data, and you have this unique scientific background, you know, MIT for crying out loud.
Right, no question. Now is the time to invest in real estate. There's never been a better time in our country's history, at least as far as I'm concerned, in our lifetimes, I should say at least, in investing in real estate. There is more money made in down economies than in any other time periods in our history, and more millionaires will be created in the next 3 to 5 years in real estate than in the last 75 years combined. And so I really believe if there was ever a time to invest in real estate and find an affordable time to do so, now would be the time to do it.
You use your science, your data, if you will, and you say, okay, let's find these emerging markets, which is kind of a fancy term for saying, you know, these are the best bets if you're really going to invest in real estate. How do you find the right emerging markets?
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of criteria that we will look at. There's a whole bunch of indicators that are probably outside the scope of the interview, but there's several criteria that we look at to define which markets are best poised for appreciation. One of my favorite is something called the affordability index, and what that looks at is how affordable is the average home to the average individual in that market. If it's unaffordable, it's not a market we want to go into, because you're not going to have a big enough pool of people that would want to subsequently purchase the property from you if you ever needed to get out. But there's several indicators like that we look at.
You also have what you call the feet on the street approach too. It's one thing to have the science and the data and all that is really critical and different, but you also have people on the street that are really, you know, have their ear to the ground in terms of what's going on in the real estate market.
That's right. And so, for example, we have property management, construction, and acquisitions divisions located in Birmingham, Alabama, and it gives us a really big leg up on our competition because these are professionals that have lived in those markets for several years. They know where the stigmatized neighborhoods are. They know where to buy and not buy. So it's not just knowing which cities to go into, but which neighborhoods within which cities to invest in as well.
It's another amazing thing, Bryan, is that you talk about guarantees. And you just have that word associated much with real estate investments, but you're able to do it based on the approach that you have.
That's right. We are so confident in our ability to discern good markets that we offer 3 guarantees with every property that is purchased. The first guarantee that people get is that we guarantee that every property purchased will be purchased for no more than 80% of what its true value is, as established by an independent, conservative third-party appraiser.
Okay.
The second guarantee is that we're so confident in the markets we invest in that for the first year that the investor owns the property, we guarantee 365 days of rental income, which you never hear about.
No vacancy.
No vacancy. If any vacancy occurs, we pay for it out of our own pocket.
Okay, that comes out of your wallet.
That's right, out of our pocket, that's right. And finally, all of the major systems that are addressed during the remodels of these properties, which would be plumbing, HVAC, electrical, and roofing, are warranted for a full year, and those traditionally represent the biggest expense drains that people would have in their investment, and because those are taken care of, it adds predictability to the investment.
It's interesting because your view seems a little contrarian now, jump in the real estate market, but the truth is the people that make big money are the ones who think a little bit differently than everybody else, in that you're not following the pact. But you're a contrarian who's not flying by the seat of his pants, but you've really done the homework.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. There's definitely more money to be made as a contrarian than to just follow what newspapers say. I mean, everybody from Benjamin Graham in the stock market to Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett talks about being greedy when others are scared and being scared when others are greedy. Well, right now people are scared. The market out there, I mean, the newspaper paints the real estate market as being this horrific place to be in.
Yep.
And right now there are certain sub-markets that are appreciating like crazy.
Yeah.
And if you know which markets to get into, it's the most opportune time to make money.
And that's the hard part, is deciding, okay, rather than somebody's whim, I think this is going to be a good market. You can say, oh, there's a better way than that, based on this chemical engineering degree and science aptitude you have, which I would last about 2 weeks in the chemical engineering class. You said, no, we have a pretty good science here about where these emerging markets are, and we're ahead of the game, so we're going to allow people to invest and also and do it passively, which is kind of a fancy term for they don't get called for a plumber at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that people overlook is the importance of having competent professional property management. It is the single biggest thing that can destroy an investment. And
Sure.
the last thing people want is to get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning because the light doesn't turn on.
Yeah.
And so it definitely adds to the predictability of an investment if they have competent professional property management that handles everything from A to Z with the property, and the investor just sits back and collects the checks.
Brian, I would suspect that your prospects, your clients, are people that are investing now, and they think it stinks. Their investments just plain ain't working, and you really are able to offer something better than that.
That's right. Many of our clients have retirement accounts from former employers that have lost between 20 and 60% over the last 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And they're just looking for a more conservative, predictable solution to earn double-digit returns on their investments. We have other people that will do it for tax-associated reasons as well, and then the majority of other people that would come to us just are looking for a solution to grow their wealth and secure their retirement.
Yeah, the tax planning is another factor a lot of people don't consider, because a lot of people are working hard for Uncle Sam.
That's
and
right.
in real estate, as people know, there's tax advantages to real estate. Gosh, anyone who has a home mortgage deduction understands that.
Right. Most people don't even know that the single best tax breaks in the IRS tax code come in real estate, and there's a way to actually legally minimize or not pay any federal or state tax if you know how to structure yourself properly.
Mm-hmm. So the combination of the science and knowing the tax implications, and also being able to identify the key areas before everybody else does, puts you one step ahead of everyone else.
That's right, and it definitely makes us unique from our competitors.
Now, what do you find most satisfying about this? Because obviously you're very passionate about what you're doing.
Well, because of my data-driven background, I love identifying markets that most people would shy away from, and really look at, where can people make a good return on investment in today's economy. Just looking at all the historical data and looking at where other gurus made their wealth,
yep.
Every single time it's always been in a down economy, and so to be able to have a quantitative way to go off and do what they did and do it more predictably is something that really excites me.
All right, Brian, it's great spending time with you. To find out more about what you can do, is ultimatepassiveincome.com is your website, and you have some free reports.
That's right. We offer one special report that gives investors everything they could ever want to know about government-insured investing, and it's the same information that profitable investors have been using to make a fortune in today's economy.
Okay, great to see you, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Bryan Campo, real estate investment. It's the time now if you do it with Brian, and he is one of America's premier experts.